Welcome back to The Reset. I am Shaun Tucker, human performance scientist and authority architect. We are here in the living lab documenting the science, the struggle, and the shift for every high performance dad and founder who's ready to bridge a gap between their ambition and their presence. Every time you run, you are training yourself to stay small. Fear is imagined. It's not real. But your mind cannot tell the difference between what is real and what is imagined. And if you find this episode helpful, please go ahead and give us a rating on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. It helps get in front of the man who needs it right now. You'll find the links in the show notes. So, let's get into it, shall we? Every time you run, you're training yourself to stay small. Yes, every time you do feel that fear or sense that little bit of doubt or whatever it is, every time you run away from it, you're actually conditioning yourself a little bit deeper, a little bit more, that it's unsafe to pursue the goal. And I get it. I get it. It's probably one of the reasons why I wasn't able to have the business ready when my daughter came along into this world. Ready for me to provide for my family in the way that I thought was possible. I gave up on that idea because I was trying to become a man that I didn't want to be. I wanted to be the man who was present and be the man who could face the hard feelings. But at the same time, I was deeply scared. I was so scared because there was a fork in the road. It's either you force yourself on this path or you surrender to yourself on this path. I chose surrender. Which one do you think was more scary? Which one do you think is playing a bigger game? In my belief, in what I've known to become true in the last 2.5 years, is that the path that I'm on, even though it was more scary because it was more unknown, I believe that it's enabled me to lead a fantastic life. A life that I'm ever grateful for, a life that I'm proud of, and a life where I'm still trying to figure things out. Which, on the contrary, if I had everything already figured out, wouldn't that be a boring life? And I want you to relate to yourself for a second. Don't you think that'd be true as well? If everything was predictable, don't you think your life would be boring? What the hell's the point in that? Life's meant to be lived, not slept on. Boring makes you fall asleep. At least that's how I see it. Remember that every time you do run, so every time you're looking for, I guess, the next edge, the next goal that you're trying to seek, always remember that every time you try and run, it's just conditioning the past again and again. Keeps you trapped, keeps you in your cage. And the thing, when you're conditioning yourself at this level, it's kind of like the elephant that's trained when it's very young, that it's unsafe or it can't actually move away from the metal pole that it's chained to the point where it's fully grown as an adult. It's tied with a loose, not even chain, just a rope around a wooden stake in the ground. And it's so scared that if it tugs, it's repeating that pattern of the past where it was punished, where it was unable to break free. Similarly, right now, you probably have an opportunity in front of you. Right now, you have an opportunity for growth, where if you accept it, you can really move forward. Instead of looking at the past and staying stuck in the past, you can break free. Because the thing about what's different between the elephant and yourself, you have the ability to respond consciously. And you can say, hey, past, you don't control me anymore. I'm still scared, but you don't control me anymore. And you can stay and you can face those fears head on. And you can create an unknown future with unprecedented results. I know which camp I'd prefer to be in. Does the past still come up every now and then? Of course it does. Does it still keep me small? Of course it does. The more you lean into this aspect of growth, of opportunity, of facing those fears, the more comfortable you become being uncomfortable. The more when you see fear pop up, you lean in instead of away. It's that simple. But it is easier said than done. All I can say is good luck. Now you know there are two paths. And there's always a third path, and that is freeze and not doing anything. Try not to choose that one. Anyways, that brings us to the end of the episode of The Reset. So if you found value, please go ahead and give us a rating on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify, because it will get in front of the man who needs it today. If you want to stop being a passenger in your own life and start being the architect of your legacy, make sure you scroll down into the show notes and click 7-Day Reset. This is a 7-day nervous system reset that allows you to rebuild the man from within, from the ground up. Remember that most people wait for their life to change. We are the ones who architect our choices. Change your state, choose how you show up. I am Shaun Tucker. I will see you in the next one.